Good afternoon. I'd like to tell you that I'm extremely happy to be here in a forum where the word positive is associated with the word economy. And I'm going to add energy because it's energy I want to talk to you about. Energy is the topic, especially with the meeting COP21, which will be organized in Paris in less than 100 days. And there will be discussions on the climate, but you will all have understood that any discussion on climate is inseparable from discussions on energy. If we want to reduce the use of fossil fuels and the emissions of greenhouse effect gases, we need to talk about energy. So I want to mention something that we have seen in the news a few days away from the COP21 meeting. Extreme climatic conditions. In July, 74 degrees Celsius were recorded on our planet in a village south of Iran. 2014 was the hottest year, and 2015 is about to win the game because 6 months out of 12 are beating the temperatures recorded in 1880, which until now were the record. And this is happening only 1 year after the 5th report from IPCC was published, showing that greenhouse effect gases concentration was never so high since 800,000 years. It is therefore difficult now to have doubts. Unfortunately, although we would like to be wrong, the climatic situation is going to prove us right in this gloomy forecast. There are several effects with consequences on the ecosystems, aquatic ecosystems, but also land ecosystems and human beings who are directly suffering from this climatic change because they're not well prepared. The question is it possible to slow down the increase of greenhouse emissions to remain below the optimistic scenario published by the IPCC, whereby if we stop emitting CO2 in 2020 and zero emissions altogether in 2070, 2080? Well, the question has been raised, but it's never been so difficult to reply to this question because, unfortunately, the energy situation has never been so unfavorable. Why? Because in the energy mix, 80% and are focusing on fossil fuel energy, although the share is decreasing progressively. Coal is very cheap right now, and so coal is taking over from the fossil fuels, and the fossil fuels release less greenhouse effect gases. The price of oil has gone below $40 for a barrel, and the World Bank says that it might even drop to $10 for barrel, and yet Shell, for instance, is still investing in Alaska to find new oil. Therefore, the CO2 value is at a very, very low level, and the price for CO2 is definitely not in a position to discourage people from using fossil fuels. Unfortunately, I'm talking about this world because this is an industry that I know well. At the age of 24, I was heading a company in the field of oil in Spain, and I did my whole career in the field of liquefied gas, and I traveled across the world, China, Venezuela, places where I probably would not be able to go today, such as Pakistan. And only in 2003 did I understand, when I was heading Primagaz in France, only then did I understand that the matter of the environment had become very, very important and that the industry of energy was about to change. So I became aware of both things at the same time. And in 2003, I said, okay, we're going to help our customers consume less. So you have to imagine, I was the first woman heading this kind of company and participating in the board of administration and the executive committee. The business model was the more energy I sell, the more money I earn. And yet, I was so convinced that I started working on energy saving counseling, helping our customers consume less energy and implement a system whereby the energy consumed would be more efficient. At the time, I had no idea that this was the beginning of a new life. In 2008, I created the first site for the public on energy efficiency and energy saving, which then gave birth to a company called Économie d'énergie, energy savings, and two books which I wrote, Understanding the World of Energy 2.0, which has just been published in English before COP21. So what does this company do? Vincent has just told you the company is based on a deeply rooted conviction. The only energy which does not release CO2 is the energy we do not consume. The fifth energy, as I call it, is the cheapest. And this is one of the very few subjects on which everybody agrees. Total unanimity of opinions, except some people in the room are going to start shouting if I say that in France, one house out of two, 15 million houses, that consume 6 to 9 times more energy than houses built in other countries. It's true in Europe and in North America. And in Europe, we're talking about 150 million houses. This is the bad news. The good news is that it's a huge market. We have a huge possibility in the field of housing, construction, transport, industries as a whole. And the company that I have created started working on energy saving. Now, the challenge is very simple. We need to develop this market by developing other services for the public and acting on the three levers of energy efficiency. The first one being something very simple. I have heard from Michel Dendevey, who's going to take the floor later, that it's better to have a bath than a shower. But if you sing a song under the shower and you have to sing a short shower, and then your boiler, if your boiler is old, you have to change your boiler. If you have no insulation in your house, you can improve the insulation. And this company is a 10 headcount company. 4 years ago, now less than, and nowadays there are 40 people, and we are really a startup. And I would like to thank the young people who have joined us to implement innovating approaches which systematically are backed by new technologies. And we are working on these three levers that I have just mentioned: changing behavior, investing in energetic renovation, and using smart technologies. I'll give you three figures so you understand what we're doing. Over the last 4 years, we have made more than 5 million French people sensitive to the problem, people whom contacted us or whom we contacted over the internet, or they contacted us, and we have made them aware of the necessity to improve energetic efficacy, and then we have given them some solutions. We have helped 300,000 households in France to improve their houses and also to improve their insulation. Ecoprime, Énergie Auchan, Carrefour, Bilke Prime, and we have distributed eco-bonuses so that they could improve the energy efficiency of their houses. And Auchan, for instance, a chain of supermarkets in France, is helping us. And the third thing is that we have managed to bring together 500,000 people working for large companies. These people are helping us educate other people. The companies have accepted to educate their workers, not only in the office, but also at home or when they travel from the office back home. People have created self-learning capacities, and they learn by doing. We have developed the know-how outside of France because France is one of the leaders. We're ahead of the other countries on this subject. Abroad, the company is not called Économie d'énergie, but On 5 company. And we have very little time available. Time is running out. If each of us does something, together we can change the situation. We can all reduce our energy consumption, all of us. And our choices, if we can save energy and reduce our consumption, will make us players and creators of today's world and tomorrow's world. We can be the actors in the energy transition, all of us, together, now. And maybe if you want to do something, don't hesitate. I hope I've given you an overview of the various websites, and I recommend that you contact us. You're welcome on our website, www.economiedénergie.fr.